educated, Burns nevertheless imbibed from her a great love for the rich tradition of Scottish balladry. This goes on for several pages more, but I think the crux of my interest in him lies in the fact that there's a deep moral and political core to Burns's work, and he's writing in the late 1700s, which is best characterized as a faith in the fundamental human decency, and he had a loathing of hypocrisy and a deep mistrust of the pomposity of rank and the dangers of wealth and power, which I think here in Silicon Valley we see a little bit too much of. In this respect, Burns is profoundly at one with the history of Scotland and in tune with a sentiment which dates back as far as that early and most robust limitation on the powers of a monarchy, the 1320 Declaration of Aberystwyth, which is predates the Magna Carta. And it says, in which it says that it is not for glory, riches, or honor that we fight, it is for liberty alone, the liberty that no good man relinquishes but with his life. And that's the core of his politics. But he was also deadly romantic, and by that I mean 100%. This is the guy that wrote, "My love is like a red, red rose. My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. So fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas go dry. Till all the seas go dry, my dear, and the rocks will melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. And fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well a while, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 mile." So he writes these short, sweet ones like this, but perhaps one of the funniest things that I came across in this volume, which is literally everything the man ever wrote, including dedications and books to people, was an epitaph on a noisy polemic. "Below their stains lie Jamie's banes, O death, it is my opinion, though thou never took such a blithering bitch into thy dark dominion." You gotta love, I mean, he could have just written that, and his career would have he would have been up there. And he writes a couple others that are similar in tone, but he writes in what's called Broad Scotch, which is a mixture of Scottish Gaelic, purely Scottish terms in their own version of English, which I'd have to translate, and it kind of loses its poetry. So I'll go back to one of the sweeter ones here. This is called Afton Water, and it's a river. "Flow gently, sweet Afton, among thy green braes. Flow gently, I'll sing thee a song in thy praise. My Mary's asleep by thy murmuring stream. Flow gently, sweet Afton, disturb not her dream. Thou stock dove, whose echo resounds through the glen, ye wild whistling blackbirds in yon thorny den. Thou green-crested lapwing, thy screaming forbear, I charge you, disturb not my slumbering fair. How lofty, sweet Afton, thy neighboring hills, far marked with the courses of clear winding rills. There daily I wander as noon rises high, my flocks and my Mary sweet caught in my eye. How pleasant thy banks and green valleys below, where wild in the woodlands the primroses blow. There oft, as mild evening weeps over the lea, the sweet-scented birch shades my Mary and me. The crystal stream often, how lovely it glides, and winds by the cot where my Mary resides. How wanton thy waters, her snowy feet laid, as gathering sweet flowerets she stems thy clear wave. Flow gently, sweet Afton, among thy green braes. Flow gently, sweet river, the theme of my lays. My Mary's asleep by thy murmuring stream. Flow gently, sweet Afton, disturb not her dream." That's to this guy. He's a genius. Anybody that treasures poetry, modern or otherwise, political, love, romantic, you've got to read a book like this and know where you're coming from. Thank you so much.